Okay, welcome back to Hindustan Astrology. This is a new podcast we are starting called Celestial Satsang. And today I am so excited to share with you a very special guest. This is Guylaine Valle. She is from the Burla Center in Quebec, Montreal area, and she is a Vedic palmist. So welcome, Guylaine.
Welcome. Thank you very much, Cassia. This is a pleasure for me to be here with you.
Oh, thank you. All the pleasure is mine. I am so excited to share this knowledge with everyone. As you know, I do Vedic astrology from India, and the
Mhm.
sister science to Jyotish, which is the science of light, is Hast Jyotish, and Hast means hand. So this has to
Exactly.
do with palmistry and how our lines define our life and how they change when we
Mhm.
choose to change. And so
Exactly.
I've had the great pleasure of getting a reading from Ghanshyam. Now, Ghanshyam is
Mhm.
the founder of the Burla Center. Ghanshyam Singh Burla is his full name. And unfortunately, he left this earth. He dropped body in January. So I would like to dedicate this interview to Ghanshyam.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much. I'm sure he's listening.
Oh yeah, I think he orchestrated this whole thing. So,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
yeah, I have my video recording of my reading with him.
Mm.
And this, I thought it was 2012, but it was actually in 2017. And so it wasn't really
Great.
that long ago, but it was, right before the pandemic, a couple years ahead of time. And going back and watching it again, there is just a radiance to Ghanshyam.
Yeah,
And there is this
absolutely.
childlike curiosity and this sparkle and this little, he's just smiling and he just always had
Yeah,
this great attitude and approach to life. And it reminds me
absolutely.
also of my Native American mentor, Chief Golden Light Eagle, who also passed. So I know they're up in
Mm.
heaven together, laughing and joking and having fun because, that's one thing I've noticed about spiritual people. Truly spiritual people have a
Mhm.
childlike curiosity and openness, and they embrace everybody and they're laughing a lot. And so,
That was done some.
yeah.
Gary. So it's very special that you have a reading with him. And you will see many times we don't hear what he said, but then you go, oh yeah, he meant that. That's what he meant. Oh no, it's very special. Yeah.
Yes, it really is. I'm really blessed. And I had meant to make it up there while he was alive, but we'll meet at some point along the way, maybe we can set up some
Sure.
conferences or something down here for you in the United States. So,
Yeah.
I got her book, her first book, which is called The Happy Palmist: My Joyful Adventure in Vedic Palmistry. See if I could get
Yeah.
this to show up. Um,
Yeah.
and this is basically her life story up until about 2012, correct?
Yeah. Like 10 years ago.
Hmm.
Exactly.
And just like
Hmm.
the title suggests, this is the process of becoming happy. And in Vedic
Right.
astrology, we say, Venus exalted is happy for no reason. She's exalted in Pisces, and this is where she can be happy for no
Mhm.
reason. And opposite
Right.
that is Venus debilitated in Virgo, which is unhappy for every reason. So this really is, less about prediction, less about, certain dates, certain times, but it's more about the evolution and the growth of the soul. And so
Mhm.
could you talk to us a little bit about, your experience writing the book and, the path that you took?
Right. Oh, it was a real fun thing writing it because you go back into your life but for me, I wanted to explain the joy I had by discovering palmistry because it totally changed me, Vedic palmistry, because I was not always happy. I was actually pretty unhappy. And I used to be more in film business before, and I work in Paris into the film industry. I had everything. And I was in the city of light. But instead of going to La Tour Eiffel or everywhere, I will hang up into the cemetery of La Père Lachaise, because I will feel there, hey, I can be sad and I can be unhappy. So I was always searching, what's wrong with me? Where is joy? How can I be better? So when I came back to Montreal, then I heard from some friend about Palmist called Ghanshyam Singh Birla, and I just knew I had to see him, but not to, I wanted to know what's wrong with me. How can I change? So that was my approach. And oh my, he didn't miss any opportunity to tell me what I had to change. But also he told me, well, Guylaine, take some courses, learn about yourself, and you will see, because the line do change. And oh my, and don't forget, all the course was in English. I didn't speak one word English at the
Wow.
time. I had a little dictionary, and I will pay for a class I didn't really understand, but whatever I got, it was amazing. I was blown away by thinking, oh, that's what it means. So it gave me time to reflect. That's what Ghanshyam said to me, because I'm too quick. So he said, if you had learned too quick, you will probably have not adjust or, digest the information. So yeah, the process for sure. Yeah.
And now you have something significant in Aries, correct? What is it that makes you so fast and so impatient?
Well, Aries is in my 10th house. So for sure, whatever I touch, I want to do fast and, make it
Hmm.
fast. My
Uh-huh.
Venus is in Aries, the 10th. So,
Ah, okay, okay.
so yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah, we're
very
working
good.
on it.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I loved the story of you really being personal, unfolding your journey and how, he gave you the 12 bad habits that you had to work on.
Yep.
And it was funny. One point I was in an airplane and I'm reading the book, and I'm not afraid of flying, but I definitely am very mindful about it. I always do my mantras. I have visualizations I do when I'm flying, prayers I do. And as I had been doing that, we'd had some turbulence. I'm reading, and you're saying, "Oh, God, Shyam does not like to fly, and he always does his mantras." I laughed so hard because I know that was him sending me a message like, "It's going to be okay. It's not your time to exit
Exactly.
yet, but do your
No,
mantras."
exactly. No, I find whenever a book is like with a master, my book is basically talking about palmistry and Ghanshyam and the magic of it. And of course, these words are good forever, the
Yeah, yeah.
story,
Oh,
because I
yeah.
find people can relate to it.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
one thing I loved in your book was how when you went to Miami and you were ready to
Mhm.
leave, you're like, "This is not working." And literally, he says, wait one more hour, just wait another hour and then you
Yep.
can go. And two
Yep.
minutes before the hour, up walks Frances Fox, which I just bought one of her books yesterday because of you. So,
Oh, it's interesting. Yeah.
so is a
And she
famous
asked me,
psychic. And
yeah,
I thought, oh my God. And then you looked at the wrists, the bracelets on her
yeah,
wrists, and determined she was a psychic. And she said, I'm sold. Come and read for
yeah,
us. So that just shows,
exactly.
the when you're in tune with the
Yeah,
planets and what's going on, when
yeah,
you see the pattern, you're not
yeah,
lost. You realize
exactly.
there is a pattern, I'm not lost. And that's the beauty
Right.
of Jyotish and
And
Hast
that's what it
Jyotish.
is. Exactly. That's what we see in the hand, because they're like a map. And we just need to guide the people. So I basically become a GPS, and I'm telling people, because you don't want to do prediction. That's what many time the concept of palmistry is. It's prediction. Of course, because people want a quick fix. They want to
Mhm.
be fixed right away. But what people don't know or realize is that we repeat the mistake all the time. So we have to change. So in a way, we can be like the weather forecast, who can
Yes.
predict and see the trend. Let's say if I see that a line of destiny stop at 40 years old. So I could say that to the person and then good luck, but we don't want to say that. You want to see why it's stopping at 40. Did the person have any other challenge at that time? Or maybe it's an opportunity for something else at 40. So you always want to guide the person to go, yes, something is there, something's happening, but hey, you have that choice, that choice. And that's what I love of palmistry. We have the free will. So,
Mm-hmm.
and again, what we aim is balance,
Mm-hmm.
balance everything. So
Yeah.
balance heart, balance head. Wow, that make the perfect quadrangle. So hey, your head is telling you, no, your heart is telling you, I want to be a dancer, but the head is making compromise. No, you cannot go there. Or but if the head goes yes with the heart, then everything start working in that motion. So we're
Mm.
all for balance, because then the person will be happy. As soon as
Yes.
we have imbalance, they're blocker of unhappiness, you know? So we
Yes.
have to, sure, yeah. Oh yeah, I saw so many hands, so many story. I've been doing this for 40 years,
Yeah.
and I'm always amazed, and you love it because hey, we know that the person had the opportunity to change. So it's up to us. Do we suffer enough to now be ready for change? Or we're tired of the same old story? So let's make a new groove in our brain, you know, because the line are groove in our brain. So you change your thinking, the line will change, guarantee. We change our habit.
Yes,
But
absolutely. And there's something I want to read from the book. I
oh,
actually took a picture of it because I don't want to forget. It was very poignant to me. Um,
mhm.
and this was after Andre, your brother, had passed, and you're
Oh
very
yeah,
angry about it. And so I'm going
yeah,
to read this. I know you're
okay.
angry. This is Ghanshyam speaking to Guylaine. I know you're angry about what happened to Andre. That's natural. But it is what we choose to do with our anger that makes all the difference in our lives. The noble
Mhm,
warrior uses his anger to protect those he loves. The spiteful warrior lets his anger fester and turns it inward. He hurts
mhm,
himself and the people he most cares about. Use your pain and anger to empathize with your clients. Grief is
mhm,
not a virtue. We all
mhm.
suffer loss. Use your suffering to help others. And oh boy, goosebumps even now. I could just feel his
Yeah.
presence saying,
Oh yeah,
it's
yeah,
natural to feel this, but don't unpack and live there. Get up,
yeah, no,
get moving, and
yeah,
help other people that are going through what you're going through.
absolutely, absolutely. Oh
So
no, I was really,
beautiful.
really close to my brother and was a shock because he left so quickly. But
Mm,
that reminds me, like now with Gansham, the loss is super big. It's immense. But by keeping up the mission, keeping up what he left us, so much information. I mean, we have a school, we have so many books to write still, but whatever we have, it's like, because Gansham wanted that palmistry to be on every home. Imagine that it's a language. You learn
mm,
French, English, Italian, you learn astrology, you learn palmistry. How about that? So people will know who they are. And by knowing that, then we learn to be a better human and not
yes.
being caught up by so many problems. Like if I know, let's say I have short fingers, I know that I react quickly. I want to do things so fast, but maybe sometime it will create a problem. Then you learn to pause and you learn to develop sign of wisdom who will give a break, who will make you more reflect before acting. So, hey, maybe we cannot grow the fingers, but we can change other things.
Mhm.
So that's why I just love it. It's like it's a tool, and we have them 24 on 7, they're always there with us.
And we don't need a birth
So
time.
exactly. Or if,
And they're always
if
up to date.
they're up to date. Absolutely. They're with us always. Oh, yeah,
Mm.
for sure.
Okay, so
Yep.
we have
No, no.
two announcements. The first
Okay.
announcement is that she
Yep.
has a new book coming out. And the
Yep.
second announcement is that there is a new course starting next month after the solar
Yep.
eclipse. It's like 2 days after,
Right.
on the planet Jupiter, which is Guru in the Vedas. So let's first discuss the new book coming out. So the last book I know you said you
Yep.
published in 2012. So is this what's
Mm-hmm.
happened up till now, or what is the subject?
This one was me and Gansham. It's our latest together. And it's basically a bit of our story, but it's like all about palmistry. It's called Happiness and with palmistry. So it's giving us clue of, again, what can make us happy, what can make us not happy. It's a perfect little book of, it's, for me, it's like a resume of so many years. And instead of people of studying, let's say, all the course that they could do, but they can read that book and they will have so much insight, so much information about everything in palmistry, what we promote, you know? So this
Yes.
book is great. It's coming up in April by Inner Tradition, and we'll let you know all the news about it, but it's coming. That's
So
a great
April
book.
2025, which is just in time for Saturn going into Pisces next year. Like I think it's May. I think so.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other thing is Jupiter course, yeah, coming up on the 3rd of October.
Yes.
And that's so fantastic. And still, I know we had a special, and we can still have that special for your guests if they
Oh,
want to.
excellent.
Yep.
Early bird special. Yeah, that definitely helps.
We'll call it the late bird special.
And I,
And
I
they can,
believe the US price was 285, I think, something
yeah,
like
it's not
that.
much. It's Canadian, it's 395
Right.
Canadian. That's the early bird. Yeah,
Yeah,
special.
but
No
so,
time.
depending on the rate that day, but it'll definitely it was around 285
Yeah,
US.
yeah.
And there's
And
still
it's for
time,
10.
so and I'm
Oh,
signed up for it, and
yeah,
so
I'm very glad.
with the intention of learning palmistry. So tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about the school and how it works and what certifications you can get.
Right. So the school, we could have like, well, we divide it in a self-help program. So people can learn for themselves because, again, many people, like when I started, I wanted to know me. I was not ready to become a Vedic palmist. That was not the idea at all. I wanted to change. I wanted to know about myself. So we have created challenge of the heartline, the headline, the lifeline, and also the mount. So let's say you have a straight lifeline. So what's that mean? It means that you may make life difficult, not just for you, but for your loved one. So let's say I see a person and she have a lot of union line with a straight lifeline. So she's not able to keep the relationship because she make herself life hard. So it could change that. We could make the line become rounder,
Mm,
easier.
hmm.
So the person would work on themselves. It's like a workout, you know. We
Oh,
go
yeah.
and want to look great. Well, how about we make the line great, you know?
Right, right, right.
So,
Yeah, no, you are your
yeah,
first client always, especially, I know they say that with therapists as well.
yeah, for
But,
sure.
and a lot of people do just want to take these courses for self-knowledge. But let's say you have
Yeah.
somebody who wants to get certified in palmistry. How does that work?
And no problem. Yeah, no problem. The courses are there too, and they can apply for intro and intermediate, we call, and then now the mount and the line. So it's online. It's there. We're at this time changing our website. It will be all coming up, but the information is there, and the courses are super fun. They have quizzes, certification come. So yeah, so that is there to become a palmist. And for me, it's like, what a job, what a privilege. Because
Yes.
again, everybody at their hands, and the hands doesn't have a religion, a color. No, everyone had the five elements that represent your five senses, the line. So in a way, you become international. When you read the palm, you learn to open your heart because
Mhm.
everybody is a soul in front of you, and you want to treat them with that respect, with that love, you know. That was
Mm.
Ghanshyam training to us. Be careful what you say, but always like that unconditional love. Like in a way, you cannot say to a person, oh, grow your heart line. Meanwhile, my heart is short and closed up like that.
Right.
I have to work on myself to be able to tell anybody something. So by becoming a palmist, in a way, you're becoming better with yourself. No choice. Same with astrology for sure, because you know your weakness, you know your strength, so you have to work again with the balance. And oh no, I just love it. So for me, it's one of the best job in the planet, but it's a very humble job because no, it's not being recognized as a science, let's say,
Mm.
still being seen as a prediction aspect, entertainment. But when you take it with a little more seriousness and depth, you go, whoa. I always laugh and I say my best client are many times the most skeptical one because they see, whoa, this is serious. This is
Mhm.
me, what she's talking about, and the line could change. I remember, I know you have one question where you ask if I have someone that it did a big impact. I have this lady, and I'll call her Christina. And she was in her 50, doesn't really need to work for a living. She's pretty wealthy and she was divorced. But now she had this new partner for the last 3, 4 years, and she's not sure is he the right one? We have some fight, very doubtful. So I
Mm.
told her, I said, listen, you're curious, know about yourself, learn about palmistry, but
Mhm.
I'm going to give you a challenge. Take your own imprint and take the imprint of your partner.
Mhm.
Know for yourself, is he good for you? Learn
Mhm.
about him.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
she started to take courses and see, but you know what? She will come and see me and go, but Guylaine, he have pretty good line. He even have better line than me. So she started to get in love again with him. And
Right.
because she saw in his hand who he was. So for
Yeah.
me, that's the beauty of palmistry. It's like,
Absolutely.
know yourself.
Yeah, and when you know
Yeah,
yourself, then you can help others. So if people
exactly.
sign up for the Jupiter course and they want to get certified,
Yep.
would this they could just
Yeah,
add this to their list of classes they've taken?
absolutely. Yeah, it will be part of it. And Jupiter, where it's so fun, it's where the heart line should start. And Jupiter, so it gives such a blessing to our life. So we know it's a very benefic planet, but in the hand, it's super benefic because the
Mm.
heart starts there. So hey, you want to make sure you're wanted to grow your heart or develop more patience or all the good quality. Well, you're perfect for Jupiter for sure, because that's what we're gonna learn about it, you know? So,
Yes.
oh yeah, so much information just with that little fingers, you know.
Yes.
And plus, it relates to our second chakra. So we're going to learn about that too. So, oh yeah, it's
Wonderful.
oh
So
yeah,
if you want to sign up, go to burlescenter.org, or is it
.com,
.com? .com.
.com,
Or you
or
can
the,
just Google Burla Center, Birla Center. It
yeah,
is in Montreal area, Quebec.
yep.
So yeah, excellent. Okay, well, let's prepare for part
They
two.
can also they can also phone if they want our toll-free number 866-428-3799 and talk to the receptionist because now that special is gone, but I'm gonna leave that special for your guests. Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm going to leave that information down in the description
Good.
section. Okay. And so now I've
Yeah.
got a series of questions I'm going to ask her. So I'm going to do a brief pause and we will return shortly. Okay. So now I thought up some questions I really wanted to ask her because I really wanted to get specific information for you guys because I know that this is something new and everyone's very curious. So first question is, exactly what is Vedic palmistry and how does it differ from other forms of palmistry?
Good question. Because the difference is that we always look for balance again. Because we know that if my heart and my head or my life have the balance, meaning the same strength, the same length, the same energy, then, hey, I have the physical energy to go for my dream. But as soon as it imbalance, then for sure, then I can just become a regular palmist and give prediction. But we
Right.
have again the free will to change. And that's what I love. So nothing is, it's marked in a cement, Oh, you're like this and you're like that, and you will be like that forever. No, we can change. And that's the beauty. But it's hard to change. Even we go to the hairdresser and we go, don't change anything, just cut, but not too much. So it is not easy to change. But if we can see it in a positive light, that, yeah, you want your dream? Hey, it's like almost going for the Olympic. Now we go for the Olympic in our own life. What do you want? And can you put a focus on that? So, and we say it takes 90 days to change something.
Oh.
Habit or a line, it takes 90 days. That's why our challenge are 90 days challenge, because that's the minimum it takes. Let's say you have a little dot on your nail, it will take 3 months to get away. So whatever you ate before or your situation or the nerves, so it take time, but 90 days is the minimum. Yeah.
That's similar to when like people quit smoking. It takes
Yeah.
about 90 days for your lungs to, and then they're regenerated.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Oh, the
crazy.
body, the body go fast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I
Oh, yeah.
and something I would like to point out to people too is that we really throw around that word karma. There are different
Mm-hmm.
kinds of karma, and this is what you're talking about. There's driga or
Yeah.
fixed karma, or there's adriga or unfixed karma. So your fixed karma
Right.
is like what is in your birth chart, your planetary cycles. That doesn't change. It's not going to change. But what your unfixed karma
Exactly.
is your free will, and this is how you respond to your fixed karma.
Yeah.
Do you take the pill or
Right.
do you
Yeah.
fight it and get sick? I mean,
Exactly. Well, that's why we have our two hands,
yeah.
because the one we don't use, we call that become our unconscious or the past, either past of this life or past life. And the other one, the one we use, is where we want to go. So for sure, it's like almost like an iceberg. We just see the top. That's the right hand, let's say. But what do we carry with us? What that
Mm.
karma that we carry? So we
Mhm.
have to look at both hands absolutely. Because, hey, maybe
Mhm.
right, I'm a very good person, but in the left, whoa, I have some challenge there.
Mhm.
And that's what happens anytime in relationship. You fall in love with a beautiful smile, a beautiful guy. But then you start seeing his personality and you go,
Mhm.
oh my goodness.
Mhm.
So by knowing both, then you're aware of that karma and what
Right.
we're going and what we're up
Okay.
against. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
So how does
interesting.
it differ though from other
Yeah.
forms? Because I remember in the book when Francis Fox said, "What do these lines in my wrist mean? Nobody, no other palmist could tell me, and you were the only one that could tell her." So how does this differ from, I guess, other forms of palmistry?
Well, because the other form of palmistry, let's say, will go for the quick fix, will go with the prediction. Oh, hey,
Okay,
this will
got
happen.
it.
And again, we can see that. It's easy to predict. It's
Okay.
more difficult to go, okay, that is there. Now, what do you do with that? Like her, she had a lot of wisdom. Now, how did she use that wisdom? For
Right.
sure. So to help other people. So whatever we got in us, what do we do with that? Or we have some difficulties. Okay, we have to fix it. If not, life will be economic and fix it for us, you know? So the
Excellent.
difference in our palmistry is making people aware of who they are at that moment in time, because again, the line changed. So, hey, you're here now. This is who you are with that situation, and you can fix it. You can change it, and your
Hmm.
life would be better. It's like
Hmm.
almost a guarantee. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. And I think the other forms of palmistry, are they from Greece? What are the culture of origin
Oh,
for
it's
other
coming.
forms?
Oh, even in India, people
Ah,
love fiction, you know. That's
got
why
it.
Ghanshyam, he came to Canada because he wanted to change the way people think about it.
Right.
So he wanted to have a school that bring that concept that no,
Okay.
you are master of your own destiny. That's what we promote. Yeah.
Okay. So that's the main difference. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent.
Mhm.
Excellent. Okay, so now we want to pick her brain and find
Mhm.
some more stories because she's such a good storyteller. So, what is a client that you've had that like really blew your mind when you read their palm?
Oh, yeah. Um, in a positive way again, because hey, I love when it's like positive, you know.
Yes.
Well, was this little I was on Zoom because now that's the way it worked more and more. And because I have people in Europe or all over. So I have this client in France, and she tell me her kid, who is like 12 years old, is having a lot of problem at school, and he's been a failure and nothing is working, and it's just horrible. And I said to her, is the kid there in the house? She goes, oh yeah, he's here. So I go, bring him over. I want to see his hand. And he can just put his hand like that in front, and I'm going to check. The little boy put his hand, and he had the most wonderful Mercury line. And that's a line of a genius, communication, expression. But the boy is all like this, you know. So when I saw him, I said, oh, my little genius. Wow, what a hand. And I start talking. The kid, the biggest smile. And of course, I kept contacting the mom after because she wanted to understand palmistry. And she said,
Mm.
Guylaine, I don't know the magic in him, but now he's doing super well at school. Everybody love him because now he think of himself as a genius, not
Oh,
as a failure. And he looking at other people and he goes, mommy, I don't see that line in too many other people's hand. So for me, again, I go, all right, it's just a matter of knowing. If you know, but because he was so sensitive, so he was very withdrawn and afraid, but then he started to show that line. So it's just one little example. So instead of this kid taking all this medicine or feeling like he's not good enough and stopping
hmm.
school. No,
Hmm.
he's doing super well. And the mom is
Mm.
happy. That's my big, yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
she's taking all, she love it. She can believe it. Yeah.
and that's one of the
So it's fun.
cards that I pull up in my tarot. They call it failure. I think it's Eight of Stones. And, I when this comes up, I'm like, you're having feelings about being a failure. You're not a failure. You're just feeling like one. And the truth is that we all come here to fail. That's how you learn, is by making mistakes. But you don't
Yeah.
identify with that experience. You move past it, right? And so I just tell people,
Yeah.
these are just feelings that you have about this. It doesn't mean that it's an act, it's actually who you are.
No. And like you said, they're helping us to grow even deeper, to
Mm,
know, so if I don't have difficulties in life, I mean, they're there to give us muscle, to make us more deep, more good, more serene, more conscious about who we are. So yeah, I just love it. I love palmistry very much.
excellent. Yes,
And yeah,
it's
and I,
incredible.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Mm.
Okay, so now I'm
Oh yeah, I do.
curious, how do you continue your study because you're a master, so how do you continue to study and what are your favorite techniques that you use?
Well, I'm very, very lucky because when I started at the Burla Center, um, was Kathleen Keogh. She was teaching. She's the first who started with Gansham. And she's still here with us. She's the one working all the book. And I continue my study with her and with Gansham. So for me, she's like, she totally got born in palmistry, So when she talk about a line or about a mount, it's like so amazing. So I continue always my study with palmistry because you want to, it's like almost with the modern world now. It's like you want to make palmistry is always adjusting or getting deeper and stronger. And she's helping me with that. But also we have to do an inner work.
Mm,
So I always do my meditation, my pranayama, my kriya yoga. I need to do my inner cleaning for sure. So I have my little technique, I have my routine that I'm doing every day, guarantee. And I just love it too. It's part of it because you want to make sure that you're serene and you're in your spine and not
mhm,
like out of it, or you can accept whatever challenge life give you or loss that life give you,
mhm,
so
mhm,
you can have a deeper sense and what you want to be in life. So
mhm.
for me, we have one conscious. When we died, we're going to go with that conscious. It's not time to clean it up when we're
Uh-huh.
gone.
Right, right.
So we want to make sure, or yeah, we want to make sure that that conscious is always clear. It's always positive. So in life,
Mm,
give us always test, sure, on a daily practice, basically. And
mm,
these days, because hey, the planet are so difficult. So how to keep a positive approach? It's not so easy, but we're working on that. I'm working. And again, it's a chance, it's an opportunity to grow. So I find, oh yeah, I'm always working on myself. It's a non-stop job.
mm. So I have a personal question.
Mm,
Now, in Jyotish, the
yep.
nakshatras or the lunar mansions are, a massive part of this body of work. So
Mhm.
how do you use the nakshatras in the palm, or is it just about the planets?
Basically, it's about the planet for
Okay.
sure. But then we want to see, because again, balance, or maybe we have what we call a leading force. So maybe in the hand, maybe somebody will be more sun or more Jupiter. Now,
Okay.
do they have line of wisdom on that Jupiter? So you know that they're using, let's say, the good constellation about it. So yeah, but what I love by working with astrology and palmistry, we always like kind of put them together. So
Mm-hmm.
let's say you see the person, she's on a Saturn dasha. Now,
Mm-hmm.
how is Saturn in the hand? Do they have a ring of Saturn, meaning they feel so isolated, they don't talk to anybody, they feel pretty self-absorbed or feeling guilty? Or do they have the most beautiful truth line of responsibility, of depth?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when a person is on a special time that you can see in the chart, you want to check with the hand, is it confirmed? Is it
Mm-hmm.
helping? Yeah,
Okay.
because again, the chart may not change. It will change because we're having different dasa, but the
Mm.
hand will be changing.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then I guess what you would do is look to where Saturn is in their chart and see what
yeah,
nakshatra that it's in, and that's going to give you more information.
exactly. Yeah,
Excellent,
yeah,
excellent.
absolutely. right?
Okay. Yeah, that was something I was like really curious because it's such the meat and bones of astrology, for
Oh, yeah,
us, or the lunar mansion. So excellent. So using them together.
sure.
So basically, you guys, if you get a reading from her, she is not only going to be looking at your palms, but she's going to be looking at your Vedic astrology chart because the two play together. So you
Yeah,
get even
absolutely.
better, more detailed information.
Mm,
Okay, so now you guys are starting to see that this is very similar to really, I guess traditional Western therapy in that the goal is spiritual growth. So, what are some of the
mm,
ethical considerations that you've had to encounter, especially with confidentiality? Let's say,
mhm,
oh, I mean, I'm sure you can think of situations where you really had to be careful about what you said or, assure people that, you
yeah,
know, that what stays in
mm,
this room and what happens in this room stays in this room, right? So maybe you could tell us about some
okay.
situations.
Right. That's for sure. Like, let's say when we use handprint or photo, we always have people signing giving us their permission that we can use because we the Palmistry Center exists since 1972. So we have so many imprints, so many stories. So we want to make sure that we're professional. We're not like using anything that people don't want us to use. But the ethical approach is so important because, again, for us, it's like the hand have no, it's a soul. You see the soul. So you don't want to see a person because of their color or their religion. It's like, no, you're more than that. You're bigger than that.
Mhm,
So we
mhm,
don't get cut. Or when we do consultation, we have to make sure that, let's say, you don't talk against anybody, because basically the problem is with us. So we don't want to just look at the problem outside. We want to see how can we fix this situation,
mhm,
and not
mhm,
by talking about that one or that one. No, it's like very confidential, very ethical. And again, it's a chance to open our heart. It's a chance to see the depth in us. And
mhm,
it's like almost like going to see a great movie. Why not sing your movie, what you're all about? Oh yeah,
mhm.
it's I love
Yeah, and I can tell you,
it.
she gave me a
Yeah.
reading, you guys, and afterward, I felt so hopeful. I felt at peace. I felt understood and seen. And as she said, it's just like going to a therapist where everything is said is kept confidential. So you don't have to worry, that
No.
things would be discussed. So I
Oh
think
no,
that's
that we're going
important.
to talk about it. Oh, no. Yeah, very
Yes.
much. Even when we have people coming, we make sure that it stay very to ourselves. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
That's
honestly,
another
it allows
foundation.
people to be vulnerable. And I've noticed, with my client when I give readings, because I work as a psychic, but I'm a Vedic astrologer and I do cards. And really people are coming just in tears. It's like they don't have
Yeah.
anybody to talk to, right? They're afraid at the traditional therapist that it's going to be written down and all the doctors are going to know, right? And then they can't tell their friends and family
Mm.
because people gossip, right? And so they come to people like us because it's safe. We're a safe place. And so that has to be,
Yeah.
stated because
Right.
the
Yeah.
people are hurting. Mental health
Uh,
crisis is terrible. And I tell my husband I'm a crying therapist. That's essentially what I do. People come to me and they bawl their eyes out. So
yeah.
I always have my tissues,
Mm.
but that's the healing process. Crying is ceremony. So this
Yeah.
is
And
this is
don't
what we're
forget,
here
many times
for.
they will come to us. Sure. And many times they come to us because they try so many other things and
Yes.
we're their last resort.
Hmm.
And that's why the pain is deep. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Okay. So, for our last question, I'm really curious where you see palmistry fitting into the spiritual world, in the future. I mean, I know down here in the United States, and I'm pretty sure like in UK and Europe and Australia and Canada, Vedic astrology is really getting popular. People are really starting to realize that this is the mothership of astrology, that Western astrology is really about a third of the pie, and that it's a little bit more complicated than that. And people, when I give my readings, I mean, I give 15-minute readings, and in 15 minutes I can tell them what dasha they're in, what transits are causing problems
Right.
for them, and where the eclipses are, and they're like,
That's
poof,
yeah,
and they see,
exactly.
wow, this is different than Western astrology. And when you show them the dates on those dashas, it's like, oh my gosh, that's when I got married, or that's when I lost my job, or that's when I moved. And
Right.
then they start to see that, yes, there's a pattern. I'm not lost. And I'm
Yeah.
just seeing people really
No.
soaking this up like a sponge. So, where do you see Vedic palmistry going in the future?
Oh, I see it the same way as Vedic astrology, that it will become like this, like a real trend, like even kid, that they will have fun looking at their hand. Oh, hey, oh, look at your heart. Oh, look at your headline. Oh my, hey, it's strong, it's big. Hey, what do you want to do in life? So I really see that people will use palmistry to know themselves. And like, even astrology, you see many times the journalists, they make joke about Mercury retrograde. It was never like that before, but now it's becoming such a trend. So palmistry will have the same. I know it for sure, and it's just a question of time. Hey, but we're patient. I am being patient for 40 years, but I continue, and more people are aware, more people talk about it, more people use it, not for prediction again, but to see your quality. Like when I was young, you read that in the book, and I was 6 years old, maybe seven, and the teacher asked me, "Oh, what do you want to do later in life?" Like if
Mm-hmm.
we knew,
Right.
oh, a dancer or an actor. Mhm. Exactly. But for me, the only thing that came in mind was, I want to be a good person. And the teacher looked at me and goes, "But Guylaine, that's not a job." And I go, "But that's what I want to be. I want to be good." But because she told me that, I put that on my back pocket and I forgot about it. And it's
Wow.
only when I started to study chemistry, I remember that. I went, "Oh, I wanted to be a good person." And here it is. I got the tool to help me out to become better. But you know what?
Mm.
Everybody want to be a better person. Let's put it that way. Everyone, the soul want to be good. So,
Mhm.
hey, more we're connecting to the soul because it's an evolution. We're in an evolution time now. So it's not the same as it was. Even yoga evolved, astrology evolved, palmistry is evolving. So, yep, I see it. The future is bright and wonderful, and everybody can
Yes.
use it. And again, like you said, it's with us 24 on 7.
Yes, right.
Let's
It's
use
always up to
them. They're
date.
our best friends. Oh, yeah.
Well, and
For
I'm
sure,
excited
for
to learn
sure.
because, as working as a psychic, I get a lot of clairvoyant visions. And so I'm just imagining when I start doing, palmistry readings, when I get certified, I'm going to be
For
holding their
sure.
hands and getting a flood of images that
Yeah,
go along with what I'm seeing in the hand. So
absolutely.
everybody has
Absolutely. Yeah.
psychic abilities, you guys. Don't think you don't. It's just a muscle. You just
Yeah.
have to strengthen it. That's all it
Yeah.
is. And there's techniques you can use, lots of different things. But the ultimate
Yeah.
goal is in growing spiritually and helping those around you. So, I
Yeah.
think we are on the right path
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for the blessings that Ghanshyam has brought to all of us. I know that he is a
Oh,
spirit guide for us now, and we'll be working on the other side, right, to
right.
help us to push this into the future because, Yes, there's
Mm,
chaos all around us, but it's because the consciousness on this planet is evolving at a rapid rate. We are realizing that we
that's,
do have control, that all we have to do
yeah.
is exercise this, and we can
Mm,
change the future. So,
yeah.
well, Guylaine, is there anything else you would like to say before we end?
Um, just for people to know that they have the tool inside themselves. And if they can just learn a little bit, they will be blown away, like I was, like you were. So it's really, really great. And thank you to have invited me. Thank you. Continue, Cassia. You're a real light to this world.
Oh, thank you so
And you
much.
give joy. Oh,
And I'm so
really. Yeah.
grateful for the work you're doing, and I'm so excited to start the new course. I just, the
Yeah.
future is bright, you guys. So,
Yeah.
don't stay, stuck in the darkness. Realize that, when you're in a dark room, one
Yeah.
one candle can
Yeah.
light the whole room, but when you're in a room of light, one little box of darkness is not
Yeah.
going to touch that light. So just remember, you have the light
No,
in you,
that's
and it's time for us to shine it. So thank you so much, Guylaine.
exactly.
Namaste, and
Thank
I'm
you,
so
Cassia. And
excited to
oh,
see you in the
namaste.
course. Yeah, so don't forget, you guys,
In the course, yeah, come
burlacenter.com. Sign up. It starts October 4th, I believe.
3rd. No,
3rd,
October 3rd. Yeah.
October 3rd. Yes.
And
Okay. Day after the eclipse.
oh yeah. And the day after the eclipse, exactly. So we'll give you so much information. Don't miss it. It's a chance. It's an opportunity to just grow and be better for you or the people around you. Guarantee.
Oh, thank you
Cassia,
so
thank
much,
you
dear.
very
Thank
much.
you. Okay, until later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bye.